Today I'm going to be working on my 2000 Toyota Avalon again. The engine light is on. The code it gives me is the P1354 variable valve timing system faults, and the solution, or most likely solution, is to replace the oil control valve. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. It's this part right here. It's a pretty simple repair. Pretty much there's one bolt to undo, which goes through this hole, and one wire connection, and this basically sits in the engine block. So you just got to pull the old one out, put the new one in, bolt it in, make the connection, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Alright, I do need to make one clarification before we begin. This code P1354 has to do specifically with the oil control valve that is in bank 2. So that has to do with cylinders. Bank 2 is in the very front. It includes cylinders 2, 4, and 6. Bank 1 are cylinders 1, 3, and 5, and those are the cylinders closer to the passenger side of the vehicle as opposed to the front of the vehicle. So you do need to get a specific part that fits in bank 2, and that's what we're going to go through today. The bank 1 oil control valve is a similar procedure. It's just located in a different location, and it's a little more difficult to get to. Okay, so the first step is to remove this plastic shroud, and to do that you need to get an Allen wrench and undo these 3 screws, and then there's a 4th screw, which is actually this Toyota logo, and you got to spin that, and then after you get all those undone, you can remove that cover. So here we are with that cover removed, and the Allen wrench size that worked for me was a 3/16. Okay, so let's find this oil control valve. If you start from the oil cap, go straight back and go down. This right, let's focus on that. So right here is the part. The bolt is this first bolt right here. You undo that. The connection is right here. You can see that I actually had the plastic tab break, so I have some zip ties holding it in place. My new part actually came with a new bolt, and it's a 10mm. So I need a 10mm socket, but let's go remove the old one. You'll just need to move some of these hoses out of the way, but it's pretty easy to access, so just unscrew that. Okay, with the bolt out, you just need to undo the wire connection. So I need to cut my zip ties. If your tab isn't broken, you would just push down on the top there and pull the connection apart. Okay, this next part is the hardest part, and that's getting this out. So you can see I can move it back and forth, but it needs to pull straight out, and I don't know how to do it. So, well, actually I do. I don't know how to pull it out with just my hands. So to get this out, you stick a screwdriver right down there. It rests on this part of the engine and goes right below where the wire connects, and then give this end of your screwdriver a few gentle taps with a hammer to try to get this to start to pop out. So you pull it straight out, and you'll have to just navigate around these wires and these tubes, but just flex them out of the way, and you can get this to come out. There we go. Okay, here it is. Now, one option you could try is to actually clean this, which is something I did, and it worked for about a week, and then I had my engine light come back on. So I'd recommend just replacing it. And the steps to put this new one in, it's just the reverse of what we just did. So you'll slide it into the hole that this one came from. Screw it on with this bolt, make your wire connection. Now if you're like me, where the tab has broken on your wire connection, this is the way I did it. It takes 3 zip ties. You put 1 zip tie around this end. You put 1 zip tie on the end of the wire just beyond the head, so it's secure. And then the 3rd zip tie, you connect these 2 zip ties, and you tighten that down, and that should hold it in place. Okay, I got my bolt tightened down by hand, and now I just need to tighten it with a 10mm socket. Alright, so I slid my new one in. Time for the bolts. Okay, now I need to make my wire connection. I'm going to do it with these zip ties. I just have 4-inch cable ties. I should have put one around the new one before I installed the new one, but I didn't, so I'm just going to be reaching down there. Alright, so there's my finished job with my zip ties on there. So the last step is don't forget your cover, your motor cover. Put that back on. It screws onto these stems here. This is where the Toyota logo screws down onto. Alright, just another tip. Be careful with these guys. They will fall out of here, and you don't want to lose them inside of your engine. Alright, see ya.